Hello and welcome to another new arrivals video. Everything is already thrown on the bench, but let's go through them. And let's start with the new items. We can start with this one because this one isn't fully new. I shown this handle in a previous video, but now I have gotten hold of the shaft that goes with it. So now it is a complete bit driver, and the shaft is an original snap-on one, bought new from the dealer, and it wasn't very expensive at all. It was really worth it to get it, to have the complete driver. And it's a regular magnetic hex bit holder, just like that. And when I got something for snap-on, I got at last a snap-on ratchet. This one is a TL72, and I have to say it is a very nice ratchet. If it's worth the money, hard to say, but it's nice. There's not the same immaculate finish as the Nepros one had, but it's still a good finish. And although the mechanism is supposed to be the same as the Barco, I still think this one feels somewhat smoother, but might just be in my head. And continuing with the new items, we can actually go with the sponsored items for this video. I have to mark this video as sponsored now, just because of this. But these I got from Knipex Sweden as review samples. So it's the Bix Tube Cutter. So you just clamp this down to a plastic pipe, and cut it off with this integrated blade. A new release from them this year. And we also have the Knipex, their new snap blade knife. This one I think is actually really good. It's also a review sample, do note. It's a very slim design, magnesium or aluminium, I can't remember right now, case with plastic details, like these blue items are plastics. And the included blades are from Tashima. And you have the extension, and you also have the blade support that you can extend in order to reduce the flex, and also comfortable if you want to push your thumb on it. But it's optional, you can use it without in order to have a fully flat. Yeah, and you have on fully extended, you have the blade with these here that you can pull the blade out and snap it back there. And there's also blade storage in the back. So thanks to Knipex Sweden for that one. Added those two, really. And then a Knipex item I bought, this super tiny needle nose. Will go in the toolkit for those very special reach needs. It's very thin, but still offers lots of power, I think. Very nice precision grind on the tips. Nice pair. And let's see what's still new. Yeah, the Vera. This is a 00 Phillips tip, the ESD, electrostatic discharge protected drivers, or not protected, but yeah, the ones you're supposed to use if you have an ESD mat and so on, in order to constantly discharge yourself. Just that single size to try them out. And then we have new items. I think it's just these two left. So completing my set of Ghidorah reversible ratcheting wrenches, these 11mm ones. So then I have the full set 10 to 19mm. And well, these are not new for me, but as I said, the last size in the set. They're really nice, and what's special about them is the made in Germany. You don't find many ratcheting wrenches that are not made in Taiwan. It's just a handful of makers that I know of. Ghidorah being one, and then there's some US made ones like Snap-on and SK. And then we have a Stubby collection edition. This Falcom, I can't remember right now what they call this style handle, but the latest handle style. And yeah, just nice Phillips stubby screwdriver for the collection. And then lots. Oh, one more item. That's new. Another, I think, 00. Maybe is it 000? No, 00. That one's too. Facom. Precision screwdriver. French made. And just another thing for the precision screwdriver. Well, collection, it's not really a collection, but I like to have a few different styles. Oh, and another new item that I almost forgot. This Hazette with the tri-wing design. So this, you can tell this is the modern tri-wing, because, well, they're not made in Germany, they have a lot less printing. And they're slightly less triangular, although this is the wrong size to compare to, but yeah, they have changed the shape a bit, I think, for the modern style, with this part being fully rounded, for larger than the older style. But that one is new also for the screwdriver collection. And now we're down to the bought used items, I'm fairly certain. And where to start? Let's start with the ratchets. This was a swap meet find. This Facom 1/4" ratchets for the 1/4" collection. Older French made version. Really good condition for being used, but it has seen some use, and it was a bit dirty when I got it, but it cleaned up. No real chrome damage, and still shiny. Just a few minor scratches. Really happy to find that. And then Ghidorah 3/8 pairhead ratchet of an older style. I have this one was a bit sticky, so I pumped it full of oil. So that's why it's leaking a bit, but it works beautifully now. I could open it up. It is one of those spring lock designs. There's no screws, but I haven't felt the need yet because it cleaned so well up due to the oil hole at the top. Not clean up, but it started working so well, rather. The handle appears to be loose, unfortunately, but I'll live with that. This will mostly go in the collection anyway. So that's ratchets taken care of. Let's go to pliers then, I guess. This I was given by a friend because when I said that how really nice it was. It's another Facom item. There's lots of Facom items in this haul, it seems. Totally unintentional. An older, I wouldn't say new old stock, for certain, but perhaps needle nose with color, with these black grips with print molding, and also grip dimples and red detail. No country of origin. Don't know how to interpret that, if they are French considering the age, or if they're not, if they're from the period before they went back to France, like they have now. And while talking great gifts, we have these Knipex 03 combination pliers. That was a gift from a friend who found them in a hardware store, unused. And he thinks they're from the 70s, and it's definitely not impossible, considering the handle style and such. So these are interesting, is of course only just for geeks like me, but they're not black oxidized, they're actually painted, it seems. So like you can see the paint have scraped off in places. Not fully in the same way that the oxidation finish would do. And they have no pivot, no joint stamping. They only have the within the handle stampings, and they have the older knurled handle style. So really cool. New old stock edition to the collection. Another unused find, this one I bought at the swap meet. This old Sandvik Bahco French made precision needle nose, sold as unused. I'm not totally sure, but they have very little wear and definitely no damage, as you often see on these smaller ones, because people use them outside of their capacity. And this being a Sandvik Barco one, so they are from the 90s, almost definitely, that period when they used that marking. And then we can go to another pair that's not as well treated. These have some spreading of the tips. This nice Lindström, but I got them anyway because these white handles I really like, and they weren't that expensive. Continuing on with pliers, we have more Facom ones, like these water pump pliers of an older model. No made in France stamp on these either, but I think they're of an age where they probably are made in France, but that might just be the wear that fools you on. They have the more modern logo, even though they don't have the bolt flag, or what to call it. That could just be stamping. That stamping was difficult, but good condition on the teeth. Some damage, but still good. So that was a nice find, I think, for the collection. And well, without having any real theme, let's continue on with the water pump pliers. Whitco, USA. Tongue and groove design. That's totally worn out. They have to be retightened. I haven't tried doing that yet. I just picked them up because they were super cheap and something I didn't have. And this stamping was interesting with a SJ. That is the Swedish railway system. So this, I think, I'm not sure if that's what it means. It could just be owner initials also, because I don't think the Swedish railway system would have an USA made pliers. They, like the other government agencies, always have the Swedish made tools. So more water pump pliers, super ego, made in Spain. So this is an older pair of Super Egos with a tongue and groove design. Just picked them up because, well, something new for the collection. These are flat jaws, and another pair, very similar, Stanley branded, and these are, I wouldn't say unused, but very little used at least. Very tight in the joint still. And these are Japanese made. Very unsure about the age, but like I said, a nice pair in good condition. So a good addition, cool addition to the collection. And the last pair are these Light Fix or Bahco. I don't really know about that mark, but they're German made, and they're not an alligator style. They have lots of things different. You can see, for example, this pinch stop is a bit different. Instead of having it here that you can close fully, it's instead of this rather awkward point there that stops them from collapsing. And also this adjustment where every other point is recessed, so it makes the jaws not line up. Very special design. Can't really understand why you do it that way, but I guess they could get them closer and also more distinct instead of if they have them in the same line. But yeah, another neat pair for the collection. And let's continue on with the last pliers. More Facom. These combination pliers. Older French made pair. These are marked and unfortunately very worn with some welding spatter and chrome damage. But I still got them because, well, they were neat, as I usually say, and not expensive at all. Yeah. And the last pairs, we have these Handtools, round nose with these nice molded steel grips. Very pointy round nose. I don't know if this bend is original, but it looks like that because the joint closes fully. So I suspect that this is the original form. Not perfect with some chrome damage, but still a neat pair considering the lower case A in Handtools. So it's from pre-1965, probably. And one last pair of pliers. Let's see if you can see the faint remains of the laser etching. But it's Stanley, West Germany. So these, I think, are Orbis made. That would be my guess, considering the shape and overall. They look like Orbis. And nice condition, but somewhat rusty. And when I remove the rust, the laser etching always gets very damaged. But still, cool little pair. Let's see, let's separate what's looked at and what's not. And yeah, considering that, let's talk about this last Ratchet. Handtools 916 SP with the handle missing, but I got it. Well, of course I would have been happier for it if it had the handle, but I still opted to get it because this is a great custom handle project, I think, considering the Ratchet is working nicely. No older coarse tooth mechanism and everything, but still a neat Ratchet. and somewhat of an age indicator is the West German markings. And the thing to remember is just because something is marked West German doesn't mean it's pre-1990. For a couple of years after, many manufacturers kept the West German stamp because they just didn't bother updating it. And it varies deeply and depending on the tool and much of stuff like that. But it's probably not too far away from 1990 at least. And yeah, more pliers. Stanley deep jaw locking pliers. Spanish made, so I'm fairly certain that these are grip-ons, considering the riveting and just the overall design looks. But they're chrome and grip-ons are usually painted, so I think they're interesting that way. And also they're just a good pair of locking pliers. We'll see if they get put to use, but they were my only pair of deep jaws, so totally not unimaginable that these will see use and getting put in the toolbox. Oh yeah, I forgot one small new item. Of course, I always forget something when I said I'm done with it. This Vera depth set bit holder. So you see the bit recess there? You insert the bit and you can set the depth that you can go to until it stops. So this is for setting screws in, well, where you don't want to now my English is failing me, but like drive it too deep. Yeah, that's what you would say. Don't know if I will use it, but yeah, something to have in the arsenal of tools, I thought. Got it. And well, since they were in picture, we can also talk about these tile cracking pliers that are made in France, but they're a really cheap design, just this stamped steel, and they're missing the scoring wheel. So yeah, not something I got intentionally, it just came with some other stuff I got. And then we can clear out the wrenches before we go on to the screwdrivers. So I got this, well, set is wrong to say, but these Knipex insulated wrenches. The 13mm one has some damage and discoloration, but the other ones are in decent condition. I don't use insulated wrenches, it was just something they were really cheap on the flea market, so I got them. Something for the 10mm wrench collection, and also because, yeah, I like insulated tools. And then these Hasset 600 1/4" wrench. So, well, it's not a bit driver, but it's useful just to show the size. Oh, 605s they are. Pardon me. Really good condition. Some discoloration here, but that's basically everything. The rest you see is dirt and no real wear to them. Really nice item. And in order to continue with the screwdrivers, then let's get these out of the way. These rigid pipe cutters. Not much to say. An older rigid pair, but with the cutting disc in nice condition, and well, it's a pipe cutter. Something always nice to have. And let's see, what should we do? Well, we kind of has to do this one first. It's the nicest of the screwdrivers because of this and that. It's a torque screwdriver, and these are not cheap, but this one seems to be working, and still, and I don't have calibration to test it, but it still functions at least. So you can say that, let's see, it still clicks, and it's 1.2 to 3 Newton meters with this pull down to set and twist to set functionality. And the Rapidator bit holders is probably fairly new, and yeah, paid like nothing for them at flea market, so really cool addition to have. I think, I don't know what they were used on. If it had gone a little bit higher, I have some things I can use them on, but 3, I haven't ever done anything like that. But well, if I run into it, now I can. If I trust them, depends. And from one bit holder to another, these Barco Handfast, the series is called, with these cheaper yellow handles. So this was a DIY range they offered in the late 60s, early 70s on a bunch of tools. You have seen some pliers if you watched me previously, and screwdrivers. That was what's offered, and these were sold at homeowners instead of professionals. And I guess they didn't do that well since they removed them so quickly from the lineup. So this should have integrated bits, and the bits are missing. But other than that, it's in decent condition. The shaft was rusty, but it cleaned up nicely, and the handle doesn't have that much discoloration, and the text is still visible. So these were cheap Swedish made tools from, well, 50 years ago. And having talked about that one, we can also show these two, again from the same series. But these are the fixed screwdrivers, the smallest and the largest slotted one. The smallest one I already had, but well, I got another. And this largest one makes, I think, my screwdriver collection set complete. There wasn't that many, it was just a range of slotted and Phillips number 1 and number 2, and I think I have all of those now. And now I also have the bit driver, so I'm not missing much in that collection. And well, speaking of Bahco, this one was a gift also from someone that knows I collect. This like new Bahco slotted stubby. And this one has fully undamaged text, and it's also the older Swedish made ones. Oh, let's turn that right for you. So it's a really nice addition to the collection. I had one nice one previously, like this is Phillips number 1 from the same, but it's before they started with the end print, and this one is not like new. It has some tip wear. This one is, it has been used, you can see, it seems, but yeah, negligible wear at least. And I have a nice one that's a later one also. But yeah, let's not show that now. Let's talk about new stuff. And well, continuing on, I got this one also. So it's marked by Luna, but it's also marked Elite, so it's probably a Vera made one for another company, rebrand. Also in excellent condition. Oh, yeah. Order doesn't matter. Just a generic, non-branded West German made one, slotted. And another unbranded, no, this one was Elite branded also. So an older Vera with this really nice shaft print also. But with some pliers damage to the handle. And these, again, a gift from someone who knows that I collect, another guy. Kamasa, Japanese made, slotted and Phillips. These ones are ubiquitous. They're everywhere in Sweden. Kamasa was, well, they succeeded where Barco failed with these, like being the cheaper option to Bahco and not being Swedish made, instead being Japanese or German made. Now they're mostly China made. And finding them in this condition is really nice. So that was a great gift. And he also gave me these. I think it's an Allen brand, Phillips number 2. No other markings visible, unfortunately, but a nice Phillips number 2. And this ones I found, a belter of this triangular style. Some rust damage to the tip, unfortunately, but nice old belter. Always love finding that. And these older with the old logo, Vera ones. So the date stamp is 02, if you can read that. No, 08, my bad. So they're just before the logo change. Oh, just before, no, but a couple of years before the logo change. But really fun finding a Posi Drive one in unused. Yeah, these ones aren't a screwdriver, they're a deburrer, but old English made or British made handy bit. Vitrex. Oh, don't quote me on that pronunciation. Vitrex, but just a nice deburrer in good condition. More Knipex. This 8mm socket driver, a bit worn, unfortunately, but this is a modern one. You can buy one just like this still today. I just got it because it was super cheap. And yeah, just something. And this isn't either really a screwdriver, it's a socket driver. Again, more Facom items. Unfortunately, someone has taken the pliers to these also. And, well, in the stupidest way possible, gripping the round end instead of the flat ends. But yeah, what can you do? Still a cool item, I think. And another socket driver. Or, yeah. These Ghidorah 5.5mm little driver here. Mostly got it for the good condition blue handle. I like these. Well, not to use, this is way too small, but I like the look of them. And with the intact chrome and intact printing, that was something for the collection. Same with these Vihas. It has seen some use, but still in good condition. Lovely old square acetate handle. And, well, these Hassetts ones I've already shown. The older German made version. This one is a Torx 15 with some use wear, but still a neat little driver. English made Stanley of this old square style handle. A bit of rust, but yeah, just something neat. And more Facom. This older posse drive number 2 screwdriver, and this black handle with the red stripe. Again, I think a really nice design, and these ones are French made. Oh, and let's not forget this Vera bit. That's what's in the torque driver when I found it. And this one is a nice item. It's again probably not unused, but in really good condition. This older design with the green and gray, or gray blue. It's a question of who you ask, I think. From 94, when they still were German made. So this was just a couple of years before the move to Czech Republic manufacturing. Tjeckisk. I can't say it in Swedish. I just, yeah, pronunciation. Really nice. Phillips number 2 tip. And the last item is not a screwdriver again. This is a tile scorer, or a Norwegian Reisekniv. Again, excuse if you're Norwegian and you don't like my pronunciation. It's a tile scorer, so I mostly got it for the very good condition and the intact sticker, so this will go in the collection, unless of course I sometimes need to score a tile because I don't have anything else. Oh, and in case I didn't say it wasn't obvious, it's a Galo, so Norwegian made. And that was the new arrivals, and we're up to 40 minutes almost again just for this slot. How did I manage that? Well, anyway, thanks for watching.